Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Okay, what I want to talk about now is let me see, how do I say this? It's, I think I've figured out why I've got so much energy. And the reason I'm even talking about this is it may apply to you in your life. One thing that I've noticed is 90% of the people have a twisted pelvis. And now once your pelvis is twisted, and I've made a video talking about this, but once your pelvis is twisted, it pinches a nerve in the bladder, and you're unable to urinate properly. Men, well, both men and the women, both urinate frequently, and men, the prostate will swell. Now, most men don't notice it, or they don't really get the full effects of the swollen prostate until they're in their 50s or 60s. Women, I guess about the same with the women. Symptom of a twisted pelvis, pinching the nerve in the bladder, is achoo, and they have leakage. There's a reason for that, and like I say, it's the twisted pelvis. Now, I'm not sure. I've heard chiropractors say that they fix the twisted pelvis. I'm not really sure. I mean, they make the bones pop and crack and all that stuff, and then so I'm not sure if it's really getting fixed or not. And the next thing is, I notice when I fix the pelvis in the Hoi Chi, when I'm doing the Hoi Chi, when I fix the pelvis, there's other things that are wrong also. And these other things are symptoms. Well, wait, let me take this back. Okay, if you hurt your knee, you may have a little like that, and what you're going to do is you're going to twist your pelvis. And it's the same thing with your hip. So that could be what's causing the hip. Sometimes you will twist a hip, or twist the pelvis, and it should fix itself. But it looks like 90% of the time it doesn't. And so what happens when the pelvis gets twisted, I know you're going to have a hip that's not quite right, and a knee that's not quite right. And that could that'll show up even when you're in your 20s. Now, you may not, it doesn't hurt me, so it doesn't bother me, no big deal. You might not notice it. Now, when I fix it, you can tell. So it is not right. So in other words, that twisted pelvis really means a lot. And then once it twists, it pinches a nerve in the bladder, the urine backs up and it doesn't drain properly. That's why you end up having to go to the bathroom a lot. Or, like I say, you got leakage or whatever like that. But another thing that happens is, and then when I'm checking you on the Hoi Chi, I will find one kidney that's not running right. Or maybe even two kidneys that aren't running right. But it's not running perfect. And since it's still running, you think, hey, everything is okay. So people don't think that much about it. And now, I'll tell you what happens. I keep myself going good. And I don't let my pelvis get twisted. I keep it good. So anytime I get a little knee pain, a little hip pain, I get it taken care of. Because what happens, if I get a little knee pain, I'll start walking funny, and then that's going to make my hip bad and then twist the pelvis. Okay, so now what's happening is that since you're not urinating properly, that those toxins stay in the kidney, and then the kidney will swell. Okay, now I know you're wondering how all this has to do with me having energy. What it is, when your kidney swells, the adrenal glands are on top of the kidneys. And when I check people, I can poke it and it'll hurt if it's swollen. And if once it's swollen, it pushes that, it swells. The adrenal gland is pressed up and got pressure on it. So your adrenal gland's not working quite right. Now, where I'm going with this is one thing, not only my adrenal gland is running, but I've come to the conclusion my adrenal gland runs pretty good. Now, the reason I thought of that, well, I didn't even think of that. My friend, remember I talk about in my videos, I'm by myself. I don't like being by myself. I can't brainstorm. I can't have anybody explain what I see, what's going on. And my friend, we were talking about something else, what we were talking about. And but he was, we were talking about, because I've been back, let's see, week and a half, almost more, 11 days. I guess I've been back 11 days now. 12 days. Been back 12 days. And now I'm starting to calm down. And he told me, just take it easy. Don't worry about it. What it is he said, if I was running on adrenaline for 3 months, it would take me time to calm down also. Bammo. That's where it clicked on me. I was running on adrenaline, and that's why everybody in China, they couldn't believe how energetic I am and all this, but I normally stay energetic anyway, and that's what I was talking about. This is what dawned on me is when you're running on adrenaline, and adrenaline isn't always, see, my friend is a retired fireman, and so when the siren's going on, they're going to the fire, the adrenaline is pumping, that's maximum. Same thing, this is what I want to talk about. It comes back to people in combat. Because the same thing, when I came back from Vietnam, I mean, I was wound tight. And what happens, I don't think people understand that just because you come back, now your adrenaline stops. It takes time for that adrenaline to start calming down. Just my 3 months in China and coming back here and amongst friends, a familiar bed, familiar people and all that stuff, like I say, it's taken me 12 days to really start calming down. And when I came back from Vietnam, it took a long time, along with a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking, a lot of wild women, a lot of doing stupid stuff. And what it is, when I was in China, my adrenaline wasn't running full blast like I'm in combat. But I was running on adrenaline because, like I say, of the situation, strange environment, the laws and all this kind of stuff. All this stuff puts a lot of stress on me. When that stress is on, you've got a certain amount of adrenaline that is running. And what happens, now I'm going back to the twisted pelvis, going to the swollen kidney. When that's going, that's putting pressure on your adrenal gland. So I wouldn't doubt, and I don't have this figured out yet, but I just now made the connection with the adrenal gland and living life. And I think that's something y'all need to be considering for yourself also. Like I say, stress, the way your body deals with stress is the adrenals are running. The problem is we have a stressful life. So just because you have a stressful week doesn't mean the weekend you're going to get the stress out. You could, but like I say, first thing, if your pelvis is twisted, you're not. I mean, there's pressure, there's physical pressure on your adrenal glands. So either your adrenal glands aren't working like they're supposed to, or they're working too much. So now mine, I don't think is too much. It's just a constant run of adrenal, and it's just a little bit, not a lot. But my adrenals will run up and run down, run up and run down, and I think that's what they do. But I think normally, they kick on and kick off normally. And I'm wondering, mine is just kind of gradually, it's kicking on just a little bit. And when the adrenal, and it's just to let you know how important the adrenal glands are. If you had an operation and they take your adrenal glands out, you're going to die. You need some kind of medication or something to substitute for your adrenal glands. And the reason is your adrenal glands, when they kick on and they put stuff in your blood in which kicks on the hormones and kicks on just different things. I don't know if I'm thinking now, maybe it helps you in your digestive system, being able to digest. You know, some people just hold it. That's why they get all chunky. Okay, I don't. I can eat a lot, and I might put on some weight, but then, like I say, I can take the weight off. It has, I believe, it has a lot to do with the adrenals. And the adrenals, I say, have a lot to do with the kidneys, and the kidneys have a lot to do with the bladder, and the bladder has everything to do with the twisted pelvis. But I could be wrong, but I am shocked. Not only I am, but in China they were shocked that I'm in such good shape for being as old as I am, and I have the energy, I have the spunk and the abilities that I do have, and I'm according to the medical world, I shouldn't have all this stuff. So since I don't go by the medical world, I don't listen to them. So when they say, well, you can't do this. Oh, that's another thing. Blood pressure. My blood pressure is up. And it's been up 20 years now. And so it stays up. And that has something to do with the adrenals also. And but then again, you got to remember, I'm in a very, very high-stress business when I do the counter-terror stuff. And like I say, I travel, I'm outside my comfort zone. So all this stuff really is high stress. Being here, I'm able to calm and get my marbles back together. But anyway, it's just something to think about. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.